Okay. See, I'm not opposed to women being able to add to the pot that her man already has cooked. I understand that we live in a day and age where both the man and the woman join being able to work and make their own monetary contributions to the relationship. However, the fact remains that this should primarily be the man's territory and focus. Whatever the woman is able to scramble up to bring home should only be a bonus and go towards savings, vestings, or other miscellaneous things that the couple agree is feasible and reasonable to do. That should never be a woman's job permanently, primarily to provide for the household. That is the job of the man, the king of the castle. On the other hand, the man just should not solely lead the raising of the children or the upkeep of the house on the woman, while it's the woman role as a man should still be involved. The main objective is to lighten each other's loads by playing our own natural, oh gosh, positions and not competing and stepping on another's toes. Men and women should always operate from a place of love, balance, patience, and understanding. Never should there be an instance where one feels unneeded, undervalued, underappreciated, and out of place. The man should always feel as though his home is his sanctuary and his woman is his peace. Just as women should always feel as though her man is protector, provider, and her safe haven. We can both do this by showing one another respect, appreciation for our contributions to the relationship, instead of throwing in one's face of importance or their shortcomings. In a perfect world, men and women should have no issue with showing one another gratitude for one's roles and not belittling one another's in attempts to make ourselves feel important. Unfortunately, we live in a world where that is not the case. I believe it has become the norm for men and women to be at odds with one another because we have gotten out of alignment with the natural order of things and live in a world that is more competitive than complementary. This competitive behavior and energy that we all have in attempts to adapt with the world and society around us have now trickled over into our relationship and make us to be combative and demeaning towards the people we are supposed to be loving and building with. Our everyday lives, we are surrounded by a world where we have to be cutthroat and overpowering in order to get ahead. It bleeds over into our our home life and relationships. It has become so embedded into us that we don't know or how when to turn it off. The marriage relationship is never the place to try to destroy, divide, overpower, and conquer. It's a place where you should come together and unite as one and leave the competitive nature from the outside. The bottom line is we lack it and an understanding of each other as far as men and women. We need to understand that we are made to complement each other and build, not compete with one another and destroy. Men's issue with finding submissive women. So many men come to me feeling like everything as far as building with a woman or finding a feminine woman to build with is a lost cause. They feel as though women that are feminine, loving, supportive, and submissive no longer exist in today's society. This is due largely in part to social media and the social media climate in general as teaching women that in order for her to be a boss chick, she must adopt the same toxic and destructive qualities of the men that she is trying so desperately to avoid. These qualities consist of being degrading, placing themselves on pedestals, becoming overly self-centered and selfish, and neglecting everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions that don't feed into their ego. With this type of attitude that is possessed by the majority of women, it makes it extremely difficult for men to become romantically involved, let alone approach a woman. The reality is there's a lot of women that don't desire to be in a relationship where they are not in the dominant role. They want to be provided as the breadwinners and the kings. Anything other than that, they view as weak or inferior, and that's the last thing a damaged woman wants to feel. Those they look for subpar men that they can control so they can feel empowered and needed. This is a dangerous game to play. Little do many of these women know is that one day the subpar control man will begin to feel emasculated and leave for her a woman that holds him in high regard. Men need to feel needed. And once he does not feel that, it's only a matter of time before he strays away. Taking care of a man and treating him like his son goes against the natural laws of nature and eats away at his masculinity. Real men need to be providers, protectors, in order to feel like he is fulfilling his purpose. Even at one time he felt as it's a setup of having his woman to play the more masculine role was was fine, not really. He will eventually wake up from his slumber and begin to feel inadequate and either start to question his importance, cheat, or leave. Now, there are many instances where men are comfortable with the woman playing the dominant role and taking care of them. No. Most of these men that feel this way, however, have not fully grown into their manliness and have not witnessed a true masculine alpha male in action. That probably grew up in a single mother household where they have grown accustomed to having women take care of and coddle them. But women must understand that these men will never make her feel her true feminine self. Women subconsciously or even consciously need to be and feel provided for and protected by their man. When they do not, they feel this constant void of emptiness within their relationship, which may also cause her to seek outside the relationship or belittle the man that she's with because she will view him as less than. This is why men should never be content with they want to take an honor role of provider and protector, because it's unnatural to who and what is she's with, unnatural to who and what she is, which will cause her to act other than her true feminine self. No feminine woman, no matter how strong or powerful she is, knows that her true strength and power is in her ability to nurture and be assistance to a strong, dominant, intelligent man. She knows that finding a man that is fit to take care of her and be the one to control the house to free up her time to take care of not only herself but also the household and her man. When both parties are taking care of what they need to take care of, they are both at ease and much happier within the relationship. Men need to try their best to stay and be in dominant and powerful position. This gives you necessity, purpose, and dignity as a man. Women that are submissive, nurturing, and great support will naturally be attracted to you, because she will see you as a leader, provider, and protector, which makes you an asset to her. When your woman views you as an asset, she will do whatever is in her power to keep satisfied, which mostly requires her to be submissive. As you can see, submission goes back to balance, reciprocation. No one is dictated or ruled over someone else out of force, but rather given out of love, understanding, and appreciation. There's many men and women that want or require certain things in a relationship but fail to realize the balance and vertical element that I have mentioned, which does nothing but make them become even more bitter, angry, or discouraged when it comes to building a solid relationship. So many times I hear men say things like, I need a submissive woman that will listen to me and cater to me. All the while, he is not a provider, protector, leader, or the nurturer in any capacity. And then there's those women that say, I need a man that can spoil me and take care of me. All the while, she's doing nothing that even remotely deserves of such treatment. We cannot be out here having these high expectations and demands for what we need from a significant other when we ourselves are not ready and want to set up and do what is required to attract and get that type of individual to build with. If we want something, we must first showcase our significance. I'm stuttering on words. Significance. Significance. I'm stuck. Why should I say it properly when I'm significant? Significant. Sense. And wordiness. Otherwise, you will continue to run into a situation after situation where you feel like you are not getting the type of man or woman that you need. And the irony of building a solid relationship is the fact that it's always going back to self. We must work on who we are as individuals first, so that we know exactly what type of person we want in our world's form. Once we do this, we will learn our strengths and weaknesses and be able to effectively build on those things that are good quality attributes and destroy whatever is not conducive to our growth and well-being. Working on yourself and seeing who you are, even the ugliest parts, will help you be able to be completely honest with yourself, so that you can really put in the necessary work to become the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. You will then start to attract the right person to you that you desire. The key, though, is not only to work on yourself, but to get someone that you are interested in, and this will lead you to not completely and fully dedicate yourself to true self-improvement and elevation. You will start to slack off and stop self-elevation once you feel like you won the prize. You must work on yourself for the true purpose of self-elevation and improvement, so that you can attract and accept authentic people into your life that you know are good for you. When you have true self-awareness and enlightenment, it will be hard for anyone to just come into your life and knock you off your focus. Why? But you know yourself enough to understand who's phony, fake, fraud, or using. You truly are on a journey of self-improvement. Everything and everybody around you will reflect that for the most part. In addition, that when you are faking the funk of working on yourself to get someone, then may very see through your act to get turned off and leave you anyway. The real truth, and I tell women things like you can very well get a man that loves you, respects you, take care of you, and caters to you, but you have to be kind, loving, supportive, submissive women to obtain that kind of man. Their mouths automatically scrunch up and their eyes roll into the back of their heads because they have not been told the truth. They have instead been lied to by other women that have not done their own self work and told that they can be kingly, independent, strong, dominant, and aggressive women. They get whatever men she so desire. This leads them to think that there is no self work to be done, and women that think like me are dumb, desperate, and foolish, when then actually it's the women like them that are going to be forever searching for a man that does not want her. A man that is going to be taking care of you, loving you, catering to you, and so forth is going to expect certain things in return. One of the most common things that the kind of a man is going to expect is submission from his woman. The kind of man is not going to tolerate for too long a woman that is competitive, stubborn, and controlling. He needs a woman that is teachable, understandable, nurturing, and able to take direction. Any woman that feels otherwise must be dealing with weak-minded or weak-spirited type of pushover men. So which she will never feel complete with. Why? Because as I stated, women subconsciously need a strong man that can put her in her place when, if needed be. In a loving and healthy way, of course, I understand that men naturally desire a woman that is submissive and nurturing. They want a woman that can come home to it and he somehow seems to make all of his problems from the outside world melt away. Many men come to me and say that they need to be leader of the household, but fail to take a look at what they must possess in order to achieve such a role. Most of the men that are complaining about not having a woman to nurture them or be submissive to them in any way are not taking care of business as they should. Instead, they are struggling, unsure of who they are, lost broken in many cases, looking for one to help them with their finances, and keep everything afloat. This is a very weak mindset and position to be in, which is why they are more likely to find themselves feeling unappreciated and passed over by the woman that they would like to be with. The type of woman that they are going to be patient, love, kind, submissive, nurturing, supportive, and understanding. They're going to need a man that can hold it down on his own. A man's ability to be a provider, a protector, shows that he is a true leader and stable, which is what is going to attract this kind of woman to you. A man showcases that he's unstable, broken in all aspects of the word, is struggling horribly, will do nothing but get passed up by the good quality woman that he is seeking every time. She will still go after the man that may not be the richest, cutest, or even the most intelligent, but he does not embody the leader, provider, and protector qualities that most women are needed from a man. Many men now tell to start saying things like all the women are gold diggers, but this is not true. The truth of the matter is that women naturally look for men that are stable and that can provide for them. When a man does not understand this, most times he is the type of man that does not have his life together and does not want to put in the necessary work to take care of his household. He's instead looking for women to live off of, or just wants to do enough to get by. This in of itself, 9 out of 10, why is he having difficult finding a good mate that would indeed have no problem submitting to him and catering to him? The reality of the situation is he is not worth it. Many men need to get on their grind and stop worrying about having to be a man. A major part of being a man is able to hold down your castle and keep everything in order and smooth sailing. Life is difficult for everyone, I know, but that should never be an excuse to slack off and complain about doing whatever's in your power to take care of your duties and obligations. Oh, gosh. As a man, as long as it's done in the righteous way, your man will fail to realize that it makes him stick out among the rest. When women see him working hard and make things happen regardless of obstacles. and is very so much attractive. Women loves to see a man that is resilient and reliable, showcasing the fact that you don't mind working hard to make sure everything is going well for yourself and your family. It's a quality and trait that majority of all women will respect and appreciate. Making her not mind being nurturing and submissive to you. Ladies and gentlemen, to sum up everything, submission is not the enemy and also not something that is freely given. It's a key ingredient to keep a healthy relationship between two people that truly love and respect one another. Submission is a key component in the dynamic where both parties understand how it's supposed to be used and should never be abused in any way. A woman should never use submission as something told over her man's head in order to get her way, and it should never be used by a man as a way to control and be abusive to his woman. Both parties must be submission in a healthy and caring way. When it comes to healthy relationship and marriages, both the man and woman must view each other as a prize. Nobody is above or beneath the other. No one is more valuable or more deserving than the other. Both are uniquely beneficial, important. As long as everybody understands this, there should be no problem with being in harmony, balance within our relationship. Remember, submission is a great thing. It just has to be given in a relationship where the person is deserving. So if you're healthy and in a healthy and love relationship, get submission and try and watch Magic Cat. Closing. Women and men should both be bringing these things of substance and value to the relationship, having someone with morals, goals, values, and interests that can see you and what you stand for or must. No woman should get into a relationship just because a man has money and power, and no man should get into a relationship with a woman just because she's submissive and attractive. Let's go deeper than that. A person's character is what they are about, and what they stand for, how they treat you, and what they engage in. Should you always reign supreme, or those other things are important. Too many times I've seen men and women get involved into relationships for surface level reasons or out of necessity, and it always end in disaster. So always look beyond just the surface when it comes to finding a person to build a healthy foundation and relationship with. I hope this book is able to give you much more clarity on balance with relationships, especially in regards to submission and how it used correctly. Can be a beautiful thing. Peace and much love. This book is by Danica Bell. Oh, I finished it the first time, but it didn't go through. So that's why I'm dumb tired right now. I've been wanting to stream. Uh, oh my gosh. I know I just read through the book like nothing. This is Unboxing Unlimited Gear Episode 4, and this book is Submission is Not the Enemy, a key factor to a healthy relationship. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. I've been had the book. It's just that I didn't get the chance to stream it. Or, I didn't get a chance to. So, hopefully you enjoyed this. Well, this book as also. I'm always going to get her second book. I did say that in the last stream. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. There will be more content on the way. Maybe I will do another book. I don't know. I think that's her only books for now. And honestly, this is probably like my third time reading this book. When I mean third time, I really didn't get no. I probably skimmed past this book. I have a hard time just like you saw me struggling with the word. Yo, I'm mad that I was struggling with a word. That happens sometimes. You be saying the word correctly all the time, and then all of a sudden you just be struggling with a word. I'm like, damn, how the hell I'm struggling with this word? Don't put me on War Star. I'll be dead by now. Alright, I hope y'all appreciate this video. I'll see y'all later. I will probably do a couple of more of these. Well, this is our last book, but maybe I might do a movie book. I don't know. Maybe it's certain. That house is too old. Y'all probably already seen that book. Maybe I'll do some book movies, maybe. But until then, I'll see y'all later. I'm about to stream real soon. See ya.